The housing programme's vision is to provide better housing outcomes for 1.6 million beneficiaries by 2022, with a journey to home ownership that creates a sustainable housing model while unlocking a vibrant housing economy. This will take the home ownership levels for Saudi citizens between 70 to 80% by 2022, which is better than even developed economies such as the US, France, Japan and Australia. It will also provide a variety of affordable housing options at a price point below 30% of monthly income. The strategy used by the programme will position housing as a ladder that every citizen climbs on a journey to ownership at the right time in their life. Along the way, the programme will provide assistance to all segments with a variety of options from free granted homes to subsidised ownership to rental to cooperatives. This means every citizen will have a better housing outcome today, whilst paving the way for ownership. This will create a sustainable housing programme for current and future generations. The programme's strategy to make this vision happen can be told through the lens of three major citizen segments. Meet Abdullah. He's 40, lives in Riyadh in a rented home, but he wants a permanent home. Has a family of 5 and earns 6,500 riyals a month. He's considered quasi-bankable. Abdullah won't have access to financing for a traditional mortgage, nor is he able to pay the 15% down payment. Further, Abdullah will face a high financial burden from monthly payments, even if he were to get a loan. The programme's plan to support him includes a loan guarantee to get him access to financing from a bank, a down payment guarantee to reduce the down payment to 5% or even lower, and an interest rate subsidy from REDF. Abdullah can use this loan to buy from the ready-built units made available through the Ministry's partnership with the private sector, at an affordable price point starting at around 350,000 riyals. There are more than 1 million beneficiaries like Abdullah in the kingdom who will be made bankable with the programme's support. Let's meet Khaled. He's 35 and lives in Jeddah with his family of 4. He earns 4,500 riyals a month and is facing increasing rents. Khaled is currently considered non-bankable, but also does not fall under the Ministry of Labour and Social Development support umbrella. Khaled needs rental assistance, since he's not able to find an affordable and adequate rental unit in the market. The Ministry will help Khaled with a rental assistance programme that will allow him to bridge the gap to prevailing rental prices. He will also be considered for programmes such as Rent to Own, where he can start his journey to home ownership even while renting. Beyond market units, the programme will create a pool of well-managed and affordable rental units in every city as part of its partnerships with the private sector. There are more than 350,000 beneficiaries like Khaled that the programme will support. Let's now meet Naif, 50 years old, lives in Khaybar with his family of 5 and earns less than 3,000 riyals a month. He's considered to be in the social segment and is a beneficiary of Ministry of Labour and Social Development. For Naif, the programme will enable cooperative housing options and housing grants, giving him security in housing. It will create a programme for charities, foundations and public donations to be channelled towards affordable housing projects through an innovative Islamic crowdfunding platform. It will provide seed funding to these projects to launch development, encourage fundraising and cover any funding gaps. The programme will help achieve a price point of 200,000 riyals per unit by bringing together an alliance of builders and operators and through construction technology support. It's also working with the Islamic Development Bank on structuring an Arquf fund to secure financing for developers and address the bankability of these projects. There are more than 200,000 beneficiaries similar to Naif who will be served through cooperative housing options and housing grants. The Ministry is setting up this programme in cooperation with the Ministry of Labour and Social Development, with an aim to create thousands of cooperatives across the kingdom. Across all segments, the programme will also offer specific support for rural households who have different needs. This will be through land and construction support through qualified home builders. Through the programme, the Ministry has aligned plans with 9 other ministries to serve these segments with immediate effect. By 2018, it will relieve the immediate housing pressure. The Ministry's Guarantee Programme aspires to enable the disbursement of at least 200,000 loans in the coming 1 year, and is scaling this up through the Sakani Programme. By 2020, it will scale up the programme to 800,000 beneficiaries across all 3 segments. By 2022, it will serve 1.6 million beneficiaries and set up the model for sustainable growth for beyond. The Ministry of Housing will make these citizen journeys happen through 6 enablers. First, the Ministry is taking extra care to build inclusive communities at good locations. Partnerships with private sector on their lands and measures such as idle land tax and land swaps with other government entities are ensuring that the housing communities created are in good locations that enable labour mobility and social mobility for citizens. Second, delivery will be through a variety of public-private partnerships the Ministry has already structured that allow the private sector to take lead in development. Third, at the heart of the Ministry's strategy is the innovation in construction technology that will create factories with capacity to deliver 100,000 units annually through modern and future methods of construction. Through strategic investments into 2.5D and 3D volumetric construction technology, the Ministry will create an ecosystem to reduce construction costs from 1,500 to 1,000 Rials per square metre, including the ability to deliver entire communities in 6 to 12 months. These factories will be set up to be adaptable to new changes in technology and will also be a source of Saudi employment. This will help create national champions while seeding a housing economy with high local content. KSA can become a global pioneer in construction innovation as a result of these investments into innovation, including potentially serving an export market. Fourth, the setup of a mortgage guarantee fund in combination with the launch of the real estate refinancing company will unlock financing led by the private sector. Fifth, the Ministry will organise home ownership associations which will ensure that built communities are well managed and maintained. Sixth, the Ministry will organise the entire housing sector with a strong real estate governance authority, with the required regulations and services to manage the full sector. By enabling and stimulating the entire real estate industry, the housing programme will contribute significantly to the Saudi economy and Vision 2030. The programme's support to 1.6 million beneficiaries over coming years will lead to cumulative real GDP impact of at least 500 billion Rials and impacting up to 10% of non-oil GDP. Total job creation, including direct and indirect jobs, of at least 250,000 jobs, with potential for more than 50% Saudi employment through factory-led production. As one of the 13 programmes of the country, the Ministry of Housing is coordinating governance across multiple ministries to ensure that impact is realised according to plans. The housing programme will ensure that housing becomes one of the key economic visionary pillars for 2030, while staying true to its mission of enabling housing for all Saudi citizens.